Appreciate y'all. We love y'all. I'm Jamar McKeel.
I'm James Joe.
And y'all just got served with J&J Sports. Happy New Year.
It's your boy J Mack, and I'm on the set of J&J Sports. And
So I just want to send a shout out to J&J Sports for having me once again.
Watching content like what y'all put up. So yeah, let's rock and roll, brothers.
So we got some big news about Dak Prescott. He recently won the 2026 Pro Football Writers Association Good Guy Award. So,
so that's like, is that like, you know, he don't get in trouble, like he been good and
yeah, it's about his elite professionalism, accessibility, and then his relationship with the media. So it's just about him being like very talkative with the media, being like relaxed with the media, things like that.
Oh, like with the press and stuff like that. Okay, yeah. So he ain't giving. Do you feel like is he putting on a persona? Or do you feel like he's really like that?
I think he really is actually a nice guy, because looking back to his rookie season, there was a major talk show host who said, "Hey, we want Dak on. He's having such a great year." And it was the bye week for the Cowboys, and he said, "You know, that no, thank you. I'd like to do that, but I'm going to be fishing with my grandmother." So I mean, that right there says it everything.
That show, okay, yeah. He kind of gives me a vibe of not really the social media type anyway. So
yeah, or like I guess he would get on social media, but do it like for the right reasons rather than like maybe just kind of showing off his house or things like that.
Yeah.
But you know, this is the first Cowboy to ever win this award. So that kind of has me wondering, I guess, about the Cowboys' relationship with the media going back. And do you think he's kind of changed that?
Yeah, he definitely shifted, because if you go back to, you know, back in the day Cowboys, when you think about Deion and what's his name? He was that wide receiver. Damn, I can't think of his name.
Michael Irvin?
Yeah, Irvin. Crazy as he is, I feel like it was way tougher back then. I feel like they wasn't cutting no slack. Definitely, you know, they were real, but it's like it was a different vibe.
Now, it is definitely interesting that he's won this award, and he recently did have those issues with his fiance, who is now his ex-fiance.
What's the update on that? Because I was kind of seeing
there's a positive update. I think it was his daughter's birthday party, and you saw both parents there. They're co-parenting, they're getting along, and they're doing what's best for the kids.
Hey, I mean, you got to make it work. You know what I mean? Is she still after his money, or do you feel like?
No, I know. Like with that situation, it was like rumored that he was possibly like sleeping with one of the bridesmaids, and that whole thing. And I don't know. I could see a possible.
I didn't hear that part. You told me that part, or was that something?
We talked about it a little bit. It was just about possible infidelity in the relationship.
Okay. And now they kind of they like more identifying it now, saying that he.
Well, yeah,
allegations.
The things have like kind of surfaced and stuff about the situation.
Did he speak out? Did he react to it or anything about like?
No, we haven't heard a whole lot about that, but I think it's a positive step to see both of them in the same room getting along, like for the kids.
Yeah,
for sure.
You know what I mean? Definitely, that's good.
And now, I know a lot of fans are going to say, "Okay, I'm glad that he won that award, but you know, where's the Super Bowl trophy?" And I think that's a valid question.
Yeah. And how do you feel? Like, what question would you ask him? Like, if you were, like, you know, as far as that, like in that standpoint.
I'd probably say, you know, why don't you go to your tight ends a little bit more? Like, let's get that relationship up, because that will free up the wide receivers, the running backs. But honestly, though, I love Dak as the Cowboys quarterback, and I'm happy that he's on the team too. I remembered in 2016 watching his like preseason breakout, and I'm just really happy that he was the one who ended up winning the job.
And listen, not just to jump off him, but he's one man. Like I said, he's one person. The whole team has to come together to win a Super Bowl. He is the pioneer, but like I said, everything has to correlate, which means everybody on there has to correlate. The defense is solid. It's improving. You know, ever since that Parsons effect, they've been improving. So, how do you feel about this season?
Well, that's interesting you mentioned the defense because they've had a full-on 2026 defensive makeover. And a lot of that was because the 34-year-old defensive coordinator, Christian Parker. So this is his first time as defensive coordinator. Before he was kind of in the lower coaching jobs.
So he trying to change things. Like he trying to make some real things happen.
Yeah, and he's a Super Bowl winner too. They actually poached him off the Eagles coaching squad. So,
Oh man, how do you be feeling about like that type of stuff? Like, okay, you getting is that a pro or kind of you as far as like?
that's a major pro for me because the Cowboys, they've had a couple good cornerbacks throughout the years and they've had some success, but there have been times where you just see us getting torched by backup quarterbacks in these games. So seeing someone who's going to have a focus on the secondary, I think, is going to be really helpful because he went and the very first person they drafted was Caleb Downs, who's a safety. So that just shows that they're going to have a commitment towards changing the secondary.
With that new, and then he's a young coach, so you know them young coaches, they be knowing what to do for sure.
So I was on the way here in the car and I listened to Mike Fisher, who's an Athlon sports reporter, and he said that Dak Prescott took Caleb Downs golfing, and Caleb Downs actually beat Dak Prescott golfing.
I can see that. Yeah.
And that's interesting from my perspective. I see it as, this is one of the first times, I don't think he's ever taken a defensive rookie out golfing like this. So it shows the respect that he has and that he's going to be like the quarterback of the defense.
Yeah. We want to see them, and then y'all have a tough schedule, you know what I mean? So, like, we got to come with their fire.
I'm really excited about Rashawn Gary, and this is somebody that we've talked about in the past, and we talked about that trade too. And I think that he's just going to give a lot of boost to the Cowboys defense, and that hopefully this time next year we're not saying that the Cowboys had the worst defense that they'd ever had, because that was like last year.
That was last year. Like I said, they were still the Michael Parsons effect. I like calling it that, but they're adjusting. You know what I mean? Just like you have to adjust to what's happening, and what's going on. So,
and that's exactly what it is the Micah Parsons effect too, because they brought in Rashawn Gary, and one of the guests we had, Jacob, who's a major Packers fan, was talking about how that was a big mistake by the Packers to let go of a pass rusher like that.
Yeah, it's like especially if you didn't have nobody to trade him or that was worth, you didn't get a good deal off it. Like, okay.
Well, and it's interesting. What's fascinating about it is that they had traded for Micah Parsons. They brought him in, and it almost seemed like they were giving the Cowboys a good deal because of the Micah Parsons trade. And then they said, okay, you can have Rashawn Gary for a 4th-round pick.
I mean, yeah, that is a good trade as far as, you got somebody young and new. But I'm just saying as far as, like, if you want to get a ring right now, it's kind of, you know what I mean? You got to find the final deal with it, because he over there with the Packers causing hell right now.
And, defense, it's interesting. I mean, looking around the league, the main team right now that I think has an excellent defense, Seattle. And a lot of that has to do with their coach, too.
They cause, I don't know, they're like the OKC of football right now. It's crazy.
I'm wondering, are we going to see this era of Seahawks last as like playoff contenders like we saw that the previous, like the Russell Wilson era?
Yeah, this is almost better than the Russell Wilson era, because he has some receivers. Russell has some people that catches that you see on posters, like he's catching them. You know what I mean? So it's in the era.
And that was interesting that they had that focus on the running back during the Super Bowl too.
That was so strategic, and they gonna use him a lot, and that's good. That's a good thing. You know what I mean? Less tension off the quarterback. You know what I mean? He could do other things, and I like the fact that he's a runner. He's not scared to run. Get outside his comfort zone. He gonna make a play happen.
I agree.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Saints defense?
Phenomenal. We phenomenal, y'all. Shout out to New Orleans. We out here, but Yeah, we got a fresh new lineup. We got a new running back on top of Kamara. We got new receivers, new tight end, and his quarterback. I'm praying that he can feed everybody.
I think the Saints are going to have a pretty good chance this year because, I mean, Tampa Bay, they didn't go very far in the playoffs. They kind of flamed out pretty quick. Atlanta might be an issue. I know. Would you say that's their biggest rival?
Nah, not anymore. I feel like back then, yes, it was very critical, but now they're not doing nothing, honestly, that can intimidate us. And as far as the Buccaneers, they're getting rid of Evans and all that. Nah, them either.
What about Carolina?
Not them either. And you know what's crazy? I had somebody I was talking with recently that was a North Carolina fan. And we had a whole debate. But no, that's not either. Like, we still don't like those three, but I don't think they're going to be like challenges.
Yeah, I see New Orleans doing really well moving forward, and I'd like to see them make return to those playoffs year after year.
We need to see that Drew Brees era. We need to see that Drew Brees era. You know what I mean? Where they had Jimmy Graham coasting, like all that. We need to see that type of energy.
I agree.
Yeah, it's coming, y'all. Coming.
It's your boy J Mack, and I'm on the set of J&J Sports. If you're looking for the best sports news, these two, they have it for you. J-Rod and James, they hold it down for sports.